It's Tim here today, changing it up a little, doing the unboxing in the work areas slash office, whatever you want to call it. It's basically where I do my drawing and my work. So yeah, changing it up a little bit outside of the manga room for a change because it's cold down there and it's late at night. So just figured I would do it up here since my iPad was already up here, and that's what I film on. And this is going to be a manga series that really wanted for a long time, and I was really close to buying it in English some years back, but there's a reason I never got around to buying it in English is because like the final volume was released from Del Rey. Remember Del Rey way back in the day? Like, when did they go out of business? Was that 09 or 010? It's been a very long time since they went out of business, and Kodansha Comics came up and took over a lot of their license and started releasing them, but unfortunately they didn't recover all of their license, and we never got to finish Codebreaker, and there's some other series here that we never got to finish. But most people nowadays know Del Rey just because of the Mushishi manga release, all 10 volumes of that, which is a horrible release, by the way. Not so sure about the translation. I have some of the volumes in English, but I never got around to buying the rest because, again, like near the end of its run with Del Rey, they started releasing a bunch of 3-in-1s, and they looked horrible, pretty bad quality, and was very easily damaged. And unfortunately, Mushishi was one of those series where it was like volumes 8, 9, and 10 just they didn't release them in singles and just released them in the omnibus form. And actually, Air Gear even got it even worse because it's like, I actually have the omnibus for that. That's one of the few omnibuses that I got, and the only reason I got it is because I needed it for my English collection because I was still buying English manga at the time, and I found it used at McKay's bookstore for like $2. And even back then, whenever I got it, probably like 2011, maybe 2010, 2011, something like that. Even whenever I got it back then, it was very expensive. So it's probably even more rare now and expensive, but I might deal with that whenever I might end up selling off a bunch of my English manga eventually one day. Not too sure about that yet. I haven't really decided because a part of me is like nostalgic and I want to keep them all, but again, I'm going to be replacing all of them with the Japanese counterparts eventually anyway. And Air Gear is definitely pretty high up there on this series that I do want to replace, like relatively soon, possibly early part of next year. I might work on that, just because all 37 volumes, I believe, is how long it is, and I have the first 31 or 32 volumes. I almost have all of them in English, and what I was getting at is like volumes, it's 17, 18, and 19, I believe, or it's 16, 17, and 18. It's something like that. It's a weird number, and the only way you can buy those volumes for the manga series, Kodansha Comics actually released like beyond that in singles, and before that they started releasing them in omnibus. So the only way you can own Air Gear in English is to have this very ugly, hideous omnibus, like clustered, like almost halfway point through the manga. So you have this one omnibus, and that's the only way it was ever released here. They didn't bother releasing those 3 volumes in the singles whenever Kodansha Comics took over the license. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, went off on a strange tangent there, but this is a manga series that I wanted for a very long time, and the reason I never got around to it is because before I went on a tangent, I was going to say the final 3 volumes for this, I believe they released all of them. I believe it was the final 3 that they released. They only released them in omnibus here, and unfortunately, Kodansha Comics never picked up the license and re-released the series over here. So the only way you can get the series in English, if it was completed, which I believe it was, would be to buy all of the singles and then like one omnibus, and that would be it. So unfortunately, that's the only way you can get this series in English, and I figured I'd just pull the trigger and buy it in Japanese because I've wanted it for quite a while. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna try to open these up. Usually, actually, was my Katekyo Hitman Reborn, was that packaged, well, basically double packaged like this. I don't remember if it was or not. But anyway, the manga series, which you've probably already seen from the spine and stuff, is Suzuka, which is anime I absolutely love. And what's his name? It's like Koji Seo. which he's the mangaka that did this series, and I've really enjoyed like his later series. There's Hitman, Suzuka, Fuka, and the current one is Cafe Goddess Terrace or Terrace Cafe Goddess, something like that. Need to end up buying those in Japanese as well. I was actually going to start with Kimi no Iromachi, or A Town Where You Live. That was going to be the first series that I actually was going to work on buying next before Suzuka, but Suzuka is just one of those series I'm really nostalgic for because I really love the anime, and I never got around to reading the manga. But these volumes are a bit old, so there is unfortunately a bit of yellowing on the top part anyway, so a little bit of yellowing on the bottom part. But anyway, for a series this old, and I only paid, what did I pay for these? It was $50, in between $50 and $60, I believe, somewhere around there for like all 18 volumes. And it was free shipping, so free shipping from Japan. But anyway, there we have number one. I'm going to try to get this video over with because I need to go and eat dinner because it's late and I just finished cooking. And this arrived earlier and had to get my workout in and had to cook some dinner. And I figured I'd go ahead and make this because I'm waiting on the rice to cook. So, and then we have number 5. But it's a series I really, really love. I don't remember it too well. All I remember is I really enjoyed the anime series. And I do actually need to go back and watch it in Japanese only without any subtitles. It'd make for some good immersion because when the immersion method that I'm using to learn Japanese, it's recommended that you rewatch anime that you have seen before, but watch it in Japanese. Preferably with Japanese subtitles, but I don't really know a site that has that at the moment. So I'm just going to watch it probably without subtitles eventually. Right now I've been really on to Death Game anime. I've been really into those lately. Currently I'm watching Death Parade, finally getting around to that one. And earlier this year I watched both of the Kaiji series, Ultimate Survivor, whatever the translation is. Then we have number 8. And I just finished King's Game. I finished that one. And of course I've seen like some of the older ones that are kind of Death Game-ish. Death Note comes up for Death Game for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Did I show off number 10? Anyway, there's number 10. Anyway, I watched King's Game. Of course, Dead Man Wonderland. I've seen that. Future Diary. Death Note, if you want to count that, just because whenever I was researching like Death Game anime to watch, that's one that came up, but I don't know why that one's considered a Death Game anime. It's just really strange. It's more like a cat and mouse game, which I guess could be like kind of sort of related to Death Game, but whenever I think of Death Game, I think of Battle Royale is like the big one that I think of. Unfortunately, this manga is damaged a little. You can see the spine is a bit damaged there, which that probably happened in transport just because there wasn't really any packaging in this. And the box is a bit more beat up than usual. They sent it through FedEx this time. Usually it's DHL, so I much would have preferred DHL just because they treat the packages much, much better. But anyway, we're almost to the end here. But anyway, yeah, been really enjoying some Death Game anime. Started Death Parade, which is really strange because I don't know if I would count that as a Death Game, but it has Death Game aspects. But again, what I think of with Death Game anime is more like your Saw type stuff, like based off of the American series Saw. Like those I'd consider Death Games, and more like your Battle Royale type stuff. Batum, that's another one. Haven't seen the anime for that, but I have quite a bit of the manga in English. I'm gonna buy the rest in Japanese just because the English volumes, I believe a bunch of them are out of print, and like the later like issues of the manga, even like the singles was costing like $20, around $20, something like that, which is insane for a single like issue of English manga. Usually it's crazy how much they've went up. Like most of your volumes now, I can remember whenever I started buying, anyway, we're going off on another tangent, but whenever I started buying manga, like all your Viz manga was like $7.50, and like it was like $7.49, and then like $7.99 for like your Shonen Jump Advanced issues, which was basically your stuff ran in the monthly magazines in Japan, like your D Gray Man and stuff. And then your Tokyo Pops, which was like $9.99 back in the day, and they actually had some towards the end of their run where it was $5.99. I can't remember the name of any of them off the top of my head, but I remember buying some in the store, which was like $5.99 from Tokyo Pop. And then you had your Del Rey's and Yen Plus, which was a bit more. Those was like I want to say $10.99. They was never as cheap as Viz, and even after Viz jumped up in price to $9.99, it's like even those was still cheaper than all the other ones. And that's one of the reasons like I ended up with so many Viz series back in the day, is because I was just worried about buying as much manga as I could, and like Viz had the cheapest manga, and you could go on like Right Stuff during like Black Friday sales back in the day, and even maybe up to recent day you could get like 5 manga for like $25 and stuff like that. But anyway, let's show off the sides and get this over with. We're done with the tangents. Oh god, this video lasted 11 minutes already. I'm actually surprised there's not too much fading on the sides of the manga. That's definitely really surprising with a manga this old. Like, but I guess it does help that even like the series is already like a pale blue on the spine, so that definitely helps out with not showing the bleaching as much from the sun, like fading. But anyway, it's 18 volumes. At 18 volumes, we're gonna have one more package for the month whenever it eventually comes in, and I have a novel package, which I probably won't do an unboxing for just because I don't usually do unboxings for stuff outside of anime and manga. I don't really do videos for whenever I get like buy a bunch of DVDs, like regular DVDs or Blu-rays or novels and stuff, so I probably won't do an unboxing for that. But we are going to have one more unboxing for the month, and that's probably going to be it for the month. We're almost at the end of the month, and even if I order some more from Japan, it probably wouldn't arrive until December, so I'd probably just save that for December. But we're going to have one more package. It's, I believe, 18 things. It's like 3 jump issues and a bunch of manga. I just went and caught up on a bunch of manga. I was like buying like multiple series that I'd gotten behind on collecting, so I just caught up on a bunch of those. And I may have began one new series. I can't remember off the top of my head, but one more package for the month, and then we're going to be over. So yeah, Suzuka. I'm going to probably try to start reading this soon, just because it's going to be one of those series that I believe is on the easier side to read, because I've been taking online like full like JLPT test, and I've passed like 7 N5 tests. The N5 is actually getting pretty easy for me to do. I don't know all the vocab and I don't understand all the grammar completely yet, but I can pass the N5 pretty easily now, like with a decent passing score. It's not barely passing, but it's not a perfect score either. It's pretty high passing score on that, and I'm probably around the N4 level, so I should be able to begin enjoying native material more now. Like I'm able to read your Yotsubato. That's a manga that I can read pretty well and understand most of it, but might actually be able to get into the slice of life genre now. So hopefully like early next year, and by the summer next year I'll be N3 and moving into N2 level. That's the goal. So once I get to N2 level, that's basically I'll be able to read and enjoy all manga pretty easily with only looking up some stuff, and I'll be able to enjoy anime a lot more. I can understand quite a bit in anime now. It's really surprising me, the progress that I've been making, so really excited about that. But anyway, we're going to continue collecting, and next year will hopefully be a big year for collecting. I have some big plans, so I will see you in the next video. Later.